You are a Mayan farmer in the 7th century. The sun, a molten god, has climbed over the horizon, setting his fiery gaze upon the endless rows of maize. Beads of sweat trickle down your face, mingling with the dust of 1,000 journeys kicked up by the wind. Your calloused hands, a road map of your life's labor, grip the worn wooden hoe. With each stroke, you sing a song of survival, a prayer to the gods for rain, for yield, for life. The jungle, once tamed, now encroaches, reclaiming the land with vines and weeds. But you hold fast, drawing strength from the earth itself, from the very roots of the maize that sustain you. For here, in this green crucible, life is a constant battle, a test of resilience against the whims of nature and the demands of the gods. Yet amidst the struggle, there is beauty, the vibrant hues of ripe tomatoes, the cool caress of water from the sacred cenote, and the laughter of children echoing in the market square. You are part of a grand design, a living, breathing organism that thrives on the edge of the wild. The jungle provides sustenance, challenges, and solace. Its bounty and its fury are a testament to the rhythm of existence, a reminder that life is a precious flame that flickers in the face of relentless winds. The year is 678 AD. You stand before the towering figure of King Kainich Jonah Pekal, the great Maya ruler of Palenque. His eyes, pools of ancient wisdom, seem to hold the secrets of the ages. Carved in stone, he is both timeless and eternal. As the heir apparent, you feel the weight of history upon your shoulders, the hopes and dreams of the kingdom resting on your lineage. The city of Palenque, a jewel amidst the emerald crown of the Maya, thrived under your father's rule. Now it is your turn to lead. Can you match your father as achievements, or will your reign be remembered as a mere footnote in the grand narrative of the Maya? The fate of a civilization, it seems, hangs in your hands. Will you rise to meet the challenge, or crumble under its immensity? The time has come for you, the last great king of Palenque, to ascend the temple of inscriptions, the stairway to the heavens. The air grows thin as you climb, each step a monumental test, each breath a communion with the gods. At the summit, you pause, the entire city at your feet. It is a breathtaking panorama that stirs your soul. But your moment of triumph is fleeting. In the distance, you see smoke, the harbinger of doom. Your enemies approach, their shadows lengthening across the land like a creeping disease. You have one chance to save your people, to etch your name in the annals of history. You must perform the ritual of the feathered serpent god, a myth, a legend, a gamble. The entire population's fate rests on your actions. Are you ready to make the ultimate sacrifice, or will you falter in the face of overwhelming odds? The fate of Palenque, perhaps even the Maya civilization, hinges on your decision. Will you choose glory and sacrifice, or watch as your world crumbles to ashes? The choice, O mighty king, is yours. As the embers of the sunset fade into the inky canvas of night, let the rustling of leaves be your lullaby. Imagine the soft murmur of the ancient jungle, the hoot of an owl, the distant call of a nightjar, all blending into a symphony of tranquility. Let these sounds wash over you, carrying you away from the cares of the day, deeper into the heart of the slumbering jungle. Rest now, traveler, for you have journeyed far today. Tomorrow brings new adventures, new stories waiting to be uncovered. But for now, surrender to the rhythm of the wild, where the symphony of the night serenades you to sleep. The fireflies, they wink their tiny lights, a silent farewell. The stars, they twinkled above, indifferent to the drama below. Only the sentinel howler monkeys remained, their haunting calls echoing in the darkness. The jungle tonight seemed to hold its breath, a silent audience to the drama that had unfolded. It was a night of endings, of sacrifices, and of choices that echoed through time. The sun, a pale ghost behind the thick canopy, filters down in pale shards of light. The air is thick, heavy with the scent of damp earth and decaying vegetation. You are a leaf, a twig snapping underfoot, the buzz of a beetle, the screech of a distant bat. These are the sounds that form the soundtrack of your life here in the great jungle city of the Maya. It is 700 CE, and you are a farmer, one of countless souls who sustain the great cities of the Maya with your labor. Your days begin and end with the rhythms of the jungle, the rising and setting of the sun, the ceaseless drone of insects, the rustle of unseen creatures in the undergrowth. Life here is a tapestry, woven with sweat, toil, and dust. You work from sunup to sundown, your back bending under the weight of maize, beans, and squash, the staples of the Maya diet. With each passing season, the crops demand more, and you give more until your body aches in protest. Your home is a small hut of thatch and wood, its floor the packed earth of the jungle floor. At night, when the fire has died down and the embers glow red-hot, the air inside the hut is thick with smoke. The scent of damp leaves and smoldering embers mingle with the faint musk of the jungle beyond. The fire, a lifeline against the oppressive darkness, sputters and dies, leaving you in near total blackness. The only sounds, the chirping of crickets and the distant hoot of an owl. As you drift off to sleep, the dreams that visit your mind are as vivid as the jungle itself. You chase butterflies with children, tend to crops with your wife, or flee for your life from a jaguar. When the nightmares come, you dream of a great drought, of crops withering in the sun, of empty stomachs and desperate measures. The Maya gods are capricious, and the future, like the weather, is uncertain. This is your life in the jungle, a world away from the great cities of the Maya, where kings rule and priests pray, where merchants hawk their wares and artisans craft beautiful objects out of jade and obsidian. Here, in the heart of the jungle, your life is a quiet one, a life of hard work, and little reward, a life measured in the sweat of your brow and the ache in your muscles. But it is a life that sustains the Maya civilization, a life that feeds the cities and keeps them strong. And in the end, that is all that matters. You are a member of a small village nestled deep within a sprawling jungle. Life here is as cyclical as the seasons, dictated by the rhythms of nature and the bounty of the milpa. The milpa, your plot of land carved from the dense green, awaits your touch. Dawn has barely cracked the darkness when you rise, your hut's palm leaf walls offering little shelter from the elements. But the sun, even filtered through the thick canopy, is a welcome sight. It's a promise of warmth, a signal to begin. In your hand, a stone axe, its edge chipped but sharp, an heirloom passed down from generations past. With each swing, you chip away at the vines and saplings, hacking a swath through the undergrowth. The jungle, a living, breathing entity, fights back. Its tangled undergrowth and thick, thorny vines seem determined to reclaim what you have cleared. The air hangs heavy with the buzz of insects and the distant calls of howler monkeys. Their echoing cries are a constant reminder of the wildness that surrounds you. An hour turns into two, the sweat of your brow mixing with the dirt as you work. Your muscles burn, the relentless sun beating down on your back. Your simple cotton clothes, stained with the red earth, offer little comfort against the heat. But you press on, driven by the knowledge that your survival, your village's survival, depends on it. You are just one among many, all working to tame this wild expanse, to coax life out of the rich, stubborn soil. For here, in this clearing, you plant the seeds of your future. And the most important of these seeds are the seeds of maize, the very essence of your people's sustenance. The work is relentless. You plant kernels in rows, your fingers pressing them into the earth, the dirt cool and gritty against your skin. The jungle's humidity wraps around you, unbroken by any breeze, and the constant hum of cicadas fills your ears. Drought is a shadow that looms too little rain, and your crops wither. Too much, and the roots rot. You've seen fields fail. Families go hungry, their faces gaunt as they offer prayers to Chak, the rain god. Your own meals are simple. Tortillas of ground maize, perhaps a thin stew of beans or squash, eaten quickly in the shade of a ceiba tree. The taste is earthy, familiar, but never enough to fill the ache in your belly. The promise of the conquistadors is a distant memory, a mirage shimmering on the horizon. Gold, they said, as much gold as the sun in the sky. But the Spaniards have been gone these many years, and the only treasure you have found is a small clay pot filled with corn kernels, smooth and shiny, saved from generations past. You hold it now in the palm of your hand, the weight of history, a tangible thing. Your ancestors, the Mayans, they understood the sweat of your brow. They knew the capricious nature of the rains, the fickle heart of the jungle. For centuries, they coaxed life from this red earth, built great cities, great works of art and architecture, all for a civilization that now lies in ruins. You feel the pull of the ancient ones, their spirits lingering in the tangled roots of the jungle, in the rustling of the leaves, in the songs the birds weave in the branches. They speak to you of resilience, of survival, of a strength that comes from the earth, from the very soil that cradles your people. The jungle, too, has its secrets. It yields food if you know where to look, how to gather. Wild plants with their medicinal herbs, roots, and berries. There is knowledge in the jungle, a wisdom that has been here since before the first Mayan city was raised, since before the conquistadors set foot in the New World. And you are learning that wisdom now, just as your ancestors did, just as the generations will continue to do. For the jungle is patient. It will teach you its ways, but you must be willing to listen. The tribute weighs as heavily as the heat. The city, perhaps Tikal or Palenque, its pyramids rising like mountains from the jungle, demands your labor and your harvest. You carry baskets of maize or cacao to the city's edge, your back bent under their weight, the path uneven and slick with mud. The priests and nobles who rule there are distant figures, their lives a world apart, yet their needs shape yours. Failure to deliver could mean punishment, harsh words, or worse. Though you've heard whispers of those taken for rituals to appease the gods, the thought lingers as you work, a quiet fear woven into the rhythm of your days. Each step you take is a negotiation with the earth itself. The soil, a thick, black mud that sucks at your feet and threatens to pull you down. The air, heavy with the scent of decay and the buzz of unseen insects. The jungle seems to press in on all sides, a suffocating embrace that steals your breath and leaves you drenched in sweat. And then there's the tribute path itself, a narrow corridor hacked out of the dense foliage, revealing glimpses of the towering pyramids that dominate the skyline. These monuments to the gods or the rulers, you're not sure which, stand aloof, and uncaring, silently observing the toil that goes on below. They are a constant reminder of the city's power and your own insignificance. The work is backbreaking, the hours endless. You clear undergrowth, hack at vines, and fell trees, the sharp bite of the machete a familiar pang in your hands. You build causeways to carry the barges and plant corn along the way, providing sustenance for the workers who come after you. With each task completed, the jungle seems to grow back with renewed vigor, as if determined to reclaim what was lost. As the sun climbs higher in the sky, the heat intensifies, turning the jungle floor into a furnace. You wipe the sweat from your brow, your heart pounding in your chest. The city seems a world away, its demands pressing down on you with unrelenting force. The thought of punishment, of the terrible things that happen to those who fail to meet the quotas, sends a chill through you despite the heat. With each basket of maize or cacao delivered, you inch closer to the city, to the heart of the power that shapes your life. The weight of the tribute, both physical and metaphorical, never truly leaves you. It's a burden you bear, a price you pay to survive in a world dominated by the whims of gods and kings. You are a member of a small tribe that ekes out an existence on the edge of a vast jungle. The jungle itself is both ally and adversary. Its bounty, wild fruits, wild herbs, the occasional deer that stumbles into the clearing is a godsend, but its dangers are ever present. Jaguars prowl the shadows, their eyes glinting in the dusk. And you know that just beyond the reach of your fire, unseen in the underbrush, deadly snakes coil. So you move carefully, your ears tuned to every rustle, your stone knife always at your side. The air smells of rich earth and blooming orchids, but also of decay. A reminder of the cycle that binds you to this land, you pause sometimes to drink from a gourd, the water warm but quenching. And you gaze at the sky where clouds gather, promising rain or threatening flood. You have lived a hunter's life for as long as you can remember. Every day is a struggle for survival, a test of skill and courage. The jungle is a harsh mistress, but you are her child. You were born in this world, and though you may not understand all of its ways, you know enough to survive. The tribe has taught you the secrets of the plants, which ones to eat and which ones to avoid, which can heal and which can harm. You can read the signs of the animals, the tracks in the mud, the broken twigs and leaves, and you know their habits, their strengths, and their weaknesses. The tribe has also taught you how to defend yourself against the most dangerous of the jungle-esque creatures, the jaguars. You've learned to fight with the spear and the bow and arrow, and you know how to use the terrain to your advantage, how to read the wind and the shadows. But the jungle is not just a place of danger. It is also a place of plenty. You have learned to fish in the rivers and streams, and you know how to trap small animals. You can find edible plants and berries, and you can build a shelter to protect you from the elements. The jungle is a source of food and materials for your tribe, and you know how to take what you need without taking too much. The tribe believes that the jungle is a living thing, and you have come to believe it too. You feel the presence of the jungle all around you, in the trees and the plants, in the animals and the insects. You can hear the jungle's heartbeat in the rustle of the leaves, and you can feel its breath on your skin in the warm wind. The jungle is your home, and you are part of it. The rising sun beats down on your back as you make your way to the fields. Another day of backbreaking labor awaits. At least you're not alone. Other farmers work nearby. Their voices are low as they share stories or chants to ease the labor. You stop to help a neighbor raise a new hut. You weave palm fronds into a roof, the work a brief respite from the fields. But even here, hierarchy rules. The village elders ensure everyone works as the city's demands. And when the time is done, you bow your head in respect. As evening falls, you return to your hut. The jungle is alive with the chirps of night creatures. You sit by a small fire. Its light casts dancing shadows on the walls. You eat your meal in silence, the ache of the day settling into your bones. You think of your family, their faces blurred by the relentless toil. When did it become so hard to remember their smiles? To feel the sun on your face without wincing? To laugh without feeling the day's weariness intrude? The jungle presses in, heavy with humidity and the buzz of insects. Sleep comes when it can, and you dream of a different life. You wake to the sound of drums and the smell of wood smoke. The villagers gather at the center of town. A marketplace has sprung up, offering a respite from the drudgery of labor. You greet your friends, the traders from the coast, their boat laden with fish. You buy some to take back to your family. Maybe today you will have something different to eat for dinner. The children see the fish and their eyes light up. It's a rare treat, but you are glad to have it. Life here is hard, but you have your family and your community. And that, you think, as you watch them play, is enough. For now, the jungle's embrace is all you know. Its rhythms, its bounty, its dangers, its quiet wisdom. You were born into it, grew up under its shade. It is home. The night is warm, the air heavy with humidity. Sleep comes fitfully, the thatch above rustling with the breeze, the distant cry of a bird breaking the quiet. This is the life of a Mayan farmer, a life of sweat and struggle where the jungle's beauty is matched only by its demands. The maize, the tribute, the endless labor, they are your world. A rhythm as constant as the rising sun. Imagine yourself there, in that quiet endurance, as the jungle hums around you, carrying you toward rest. But you are not alone in this quiet moment. With you is a great king, his name Pekal, the great king of Palenque, and he too is listening to the jungle's song. For him, it is more than a lullaby. It's a call to action. His city, Palenque, nestled in the heart of the Maya, had been a minor player, a small kingdom with big dreams. But under Pekal's rule, it was about to become a powerhouse. Pekal's reign was marked by expansion, both in power and in time, almost 70 years. He pushed his borders, secured trade routes, and built alliances. Yet for all his might, he was not a warmonger, but a visionary. His focus was at home, transforming Palenque from a modest city into a cultural and economic hub. He built palaces, temples, an observatory, a pyramid, a tomb for when he would become one with the ancestors. And to connect them all, a causeway, a grand avenue leading from the humble market to the imposing temple of the inscriptions. His was a world of paradoxes, a place where farmers toiled and kings dreamed, where the whisper of the wind could lull you to sleep, and the same wind carry the cries of a distant battle. For while Pekal built his city, other kingdoms plotted. The Maya, despite their many accomplishments, were not a pacifist people. They, too, had their wars, their reasons to fight, land, power, resources. And as Palenque grew, so did the enemies, the fierce warriors from neighboring cities who envied Palenque's prosperity. And so the king had to fight, not just for his city's dream, but for its very survival. In the end, it was a battle he lost. But before that, he gave his warriors a battle cry that echoed the struggle of every Mayan farmer. He told them to fight for the king, for the city, for the life they held dear. And in that moment of courage, Pakol became a legend carved in stone, his face staring out from centuries on the temple of inscriptions, a testament to the man who turned a city into a dream. Here at the edge of the great city, amidst the towering limestone pyramids that seemed to pierce the heavens, stood a young boy of only 12 years. His name was Keinich Jenab Pakol, but history would remember him as Pakol the Great. It was the year 615 CE, and Palenque was a jewel of the Mayan world. But the boy who would become its greatest king was too young to rule. So while he mastered the skills of leadership, he watched as his father, King Ahau, kept the kingdom running. The young crown prince wasn't idle during these formative years. He learned the intricacies of the state, studied the sacred texts, trained in the art of war, and most importantly, understood the pulse of his people. His father, sensing the boy's diligence, groomed him for greatness, laying the foundation for a remarkable legacy. At 14, Pakol's life changed. His father, King Ahau, passed away, leaving the throne to him. Now, a new set of challenges awaited. Rival rulers within the empire eyed the young king suspiciously, and ambitious nobles sought to expand their influence. But Pakol was ready. His ascent to power marked the beginning of a golden era for Palenque. Over the next 4 decades, this extraordinary ruler expanded trade networks, built magnificent structures, and reformed the kingdom's administration. Each decision was a step towards securing Palenque's prosperity. His influence spread far and wide, reaching the distant realms of the Maya, the Yucatan Peninsula, and even the ancient city of Quirigú. Pakol wasn't just a visionary ruler. He was also a warrior king. He led his armies to victory against the fierce rival at Calakmul, ensuring Palenque's dominance. Yet his greatest victories were those that brought stability and prosperity to his people. But his life wasn't without sorrow. In 683, a devastating drought and a rebellion by Maya's fierce lord almost brought his reign crashing down. The kingdom's food supply dwindled, leading to unrest among the populace. Pakol, however, refused to be daunted. He navigated through the crisis, proving to be not just a great leader, but a compassionate one. He managed to quell the rebellion and steer his people out of the darkness of despair, reaffirming his position as a beacon of hope and resilience. Pakol's story is a testament to the human spirit, a tale of ambition and achievement etched in stone. His life, a narrative of challenges overcome and victories secured, continues to resonate through the ages. As we stand in the shadow of his magnificent pyramids, let us remember Pakol, not just as a great king, but as a symbol of human potential and the power of a story well told. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more such amazing stories. This is a story about Pakol the Great, the legendary Maya king who ruled the ancient city of Palenque around 1,800 years ago. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Palenque is nestled in the lush hills of what is now southern Mexico. It's a city alive with the hum of activity. The air carries the scent of copal incense, its smoke curling upward from temple altars, mingling with the damp richness of the jungle. You can almost hear the buzz of insects, the chatter of merchants in the marketplace, the rhythmic clang of a blacksmith's hammer. It's a sensory feast. Here in the heart of the city, you can see Pakol as a child, small but solemn, walking through the plazas, his bare feet touching stones worn smooth by generations. The year before, he'd been crowned ruler after his father, King Ahau, died in battle against the dreaded warriors of Calakmul, a rival Maya city. Now Palenque's enemies, including Tikal, a powerful city to the north, were amassing troops, eager to take advantage of Palenque's new, inexperienced leader. The throne had been meant for Pakal's older brother, but he'd been born with a disability, leaving Pakal, a teenager at the time, to ascend to the kingship. His mother, Lady Sack Cook, rules as regent, for the throne has passed to him. But even as a boy, Pakal's eyes, bright with purpose, seemed to see a future that others cannot. As the story goes, one day he told his mother, "When I am king, our enemies will not dare to wage war against us." Sack Cook looked out over her son's domain, her gaze sweeping across the plazas, the temples, the royal palaces. Her mind raced with the possibilities, the alliances, the sacrifices she could make to ensure her son's greatness. She knew what was required to make Pakal the powerful ruler he was destined to be. And so began one of the most ambitious building projects in the ancient Maya world. Pakal would rule for over 60 years, nearly twice as long as any other Maya king. During his reign, he expanded Palenque's borders, built massive pyramids and palaces, and led the Maya to new heights of artistic and intellectual achievement. He is considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Maya ruler of the classic period. And you can see how it all started right here in this plaza, where the old stone buildings still stand, silent witnesses to the rise of an empire. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this scene from my upcoming book, The Boy Who Would Be King. I am really excited to share this story with you, and I can't wait for you to see the rest of the illustrations. I'll be releasing one chapter per week, so be sure to stay tuned so you don't miss out on any of the adventures. He is tiny, barely bigger than a ball, but when he enters the temple, it is clear that this is no ordinary child. By the time he is 12, Pakal is crowned, his small frame draped in jade beads and quetzal feathers, their vibrant green catching the sunlight. The coronation takes place atop a pyramid, its steep steps both challenging and sacred. Here, priests chant to the gods Kinich Ahau, the sun god, and the maize god, sustainer of life. The air is thick with the scent of burning resin, and the distant sound of drums echoes through the great city. Pakal's rule begins. Nobles whisper among themselves, questioning his youth. Rivals take this chance to plot in distant courts, and the gods, they are ever watchful, demanding proof of his worthiness. But something in his bearing, a quiet resolve, sets him apart. As the years pass, Pakal proves his mettle. He builds great pyramids, the tallest reaching 65 meters, adorned with the feathered serpents of the wind gods. He fortifies the city, anticipating the threat from the north. And when the armies come, he leads the defense, his courage bolstering his people. The nobles who once doubted him now proclaim his greatness. The rival kings who sought to take advantage of his age have learned their lesson. Yet, it is in the temples that Pakal's true devotion shines. For there is one god whom he serves with unmatched fervor, the maize god, the giver of life. In the sacred gardens, Pakal tends to the sacred plants, ensuring the continuity of life. He understands that the maize god's power flows through these green shoots, through every kernel, and he, Pakal, is the conduit. When droughts threaten the land, Pakal doesn't just pray. He acts. He organizes relief efforts, ensuring the people have food and water. He even travels to distant lands, securing alliances and trade. And when the rains finally return, it is as if the maize god himself is smiling down, blessing the fields, blessing his people. But not even Pekel's devotion can save him from the passage of time. As he nears the end of his long life, he prepares for the next chapter, training his successor, ensuring the city's prosperity. When his time finally comes, he leaves behind a legacy that extends beyond the borders of this great city, a legacy of courage, faith, and service. For 12-year-old Pekel, the boy king, has shown the world what it means to be a true ruler, a servant of the people, and a devotee of the gods. His story, a testament to the enduring spirit of humanity, our capacity for greatness, even in the face of doubt and uncertainty, and our unwavering connection to the divine. Pakal I, the young king of Palenque, had big dreams. As he grew older, so did his vision. You can picture him now, a young man in his 20s, striding through the bustling construction site that would become Palenque's greatest wonder, the palace. A sprawling complex of courtyards and towers. It was to be his legacy, his throne room in the center of it all, a platform for him to tell his story. The palace walls were being adorned with stucco reliefs, sculptures protruding from the building's facade, each one intricately carved with a face from the royal lineage, a reminder of Pakel's divine right to rule. The air is thick with the scent of wet plaster and chiseled stone, the rhythmic clink of artisans' tools echoing through the courtyard. Pekel walks among them, his woven sandals making soft thuds on the stone floors. He consults with architects and priests, overseeing the placement of each carving, the angle of each arch, ensuring they tell the story he wants to convey. He wasn't just a king. He was a planner, an engineer, an artist, and he had a grand vision for his city. The palace was to be a microcosm of the city itself, a reflection of Palenque's ingenious design. And nowhere was this more evident than in the water channels that snaked through the building and the city, carrying streams of water through the jungle's oppressive heat. It was a testament to Pekel's ingenuity, a marvel of hydraulic engineering that allowed life to flourish in the heart of the unforgiving wilderness. But it was more than just a construction site. It was a symphony of activity, a dance of creativity and hard work. The palace was to be Pakel's legacy, a lasting testament to his reign. And as he surveyed the site, he knew that he was creating something truly special, something that would outlive him and become a beacon of Mayan culture for generations to come. Nearly 7 decades he reigned, longer than any other ruler of Palenque. His name was Pekel, which means wood or strong lord. And strong he was, though not just in battle, though he led campaigns, many, many campaigns. And we will linger not on the battles themselves, but on their aftermath, on the impact. For when he returned to Palenque, his heart was heavy with the cost of war, the lives lost in the jungles, their sacrifices woven into the very fabric of the city. Yet he was a master of diplomacy, too. He strengthened alliances through marriage, sending emissaries to distant cities with gifts of cacao and obsidian, solidifying bonds that made war unnecessary. When rivals grew too powerful, he led armies against them. And when they fell, their tribute flowed into Palenque's coffers, their subjugated cities paying him fealty. And so the cycle continued, a delicate balance of power maintained through a combination of strategy and diplomacy. He kept his court in a perpetual state of revelry, the air thick with the scent of roasted maize, the sound of flutes mingling with the chatter of nobles and priests. But beneath this veneer of merriment, there was always an undercurrent of tension, a reminder that a king's rule is never truly secure. For even as Pekel negotiated peace with some, he outmaneuvered others, ensuring that none would threaten Palenque's hard-won supremacy. When he was old and gray, he passed the crown to his son, leaving behind a legacy of strength and strategy, a ruler who had secured Palenque's dominance and ensured its place as the premier city of the Maya. Yet as we ponder Pakal's triumphs, let us not forget the cost of war, the lives lost in the pursuit of power. Let us remember the fallen, for it is in their sacrifice that Pakal's legend was forged. This is the story of Pakal, the great king of Palenque. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe for more. Now, when you think of ancient rulers, you might picture them lounging around on golden chariots or riding elephants into battle. But what if I told you some of them were serious fitness enthusiasts? Here in the jungle city of Palenque, high atop the Temple of the Inscriptions, you can still see the chalk markings from where Pakal, the great king, would have done his yoga. Okay, maybe he wasn't doing yoga, but this is the highest point in the city, the tallest pyramid in all of Mesoamerica. And it was Pakal's greatest monument, a 65-foot tall pyramid that dwarfed even the tallest temples of the time. And he built it to be the center of a ritual pathway that connected the underworld to the heavens. It was also his tomb, a secret hiding place that wouldn't be discovered for centuries. You can imagine him climbing these steep steps, the stone cool beneath his feet, and then standing here, so high above the city, overseeing rituals that bound his people to the cosmos. Below him, the elite of his kingdom would have stood in a courtyard and watched as commoners performed a sacred dance to honor the gods. And when the music stopped, Pakal would have slipped away unnoticed, disappearing into the temple's hidden chambers deep within the earth. It was here, in this dark and dusty place, that his greatest treasure lay hidden, Pandora's box, a jade sarcophagus worth millions of dollars, perfectly preserved for over 1,000 years. When the Spanish conquistadors arrived, they found this place abandoned, the city overgrown with vines and trees. They looted the temple, taking treasures back to Spain, but they never found Pakal's tomb. It wasn't until 1952, after decades of excavations, that the modern world first laid eyes on the box that had lain undisturbed for so long. The air inside is thick with the scent of ancient dust, the smell of time itself. And when you stand here, surrounded by the darkness and the silence, you can almost hear the whispers of the past. Almost. But for now, let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to Pakal, the man who ruled this city like a god. Let's picture him here at the top of the pyramid, his feathered headdress swaying in the breeze, the sun warm on his face, his eyes fixed on the stars, seeking the gods' approval. Because for Pakal, the king of Palenque, the heavens themselves were his domain. Though he ruled for 66 years, his reign is not without struggle. Rival nobles challenge his authority. Their whispers are a constant threat. The jungle's fickle rains bring drought or flood, testing the city's resilience. Pakal, though divine in the eyes of his people, is human. His decisions weigh heavily. Each one is a step on a precarious path. He expanded trade networks, built new roads, and welcomed merchants from all over the known world. Under his rule, the Maya reached the height of their power. Yet even as he planned his eternal city, the jungle pressed close, a constant reminder of nature's indifference to human ambition. Droughts and floods tested his people's resilience, and rebellions shook the very foundations of his realm. Pakal, the great king, was born in 603 CE. He was born in a small village called Benk, just outside the city of Tikal. When he came to Tikal, it was a small city, but he soon expanded it, turning it into a great metropolis. But his greatest legacy is the temples he built. The stepped pyramid, a marvel of engineering, is a testament to his ambition. It is a symbol of the Maya's genius and a reminder of the ancient world's sophistication. Yet for all his accomplishments, Pakal faced challenges both from within and outside his realm. Rival nobles challenged his authority. They whispered in the shadows, plotting to undermine the king's power. But Pakal was not one to tolerate dissent. He crushed the rebellions and established his authority over the kingdom. The jungle, too, was a constant challenge. The Maya lived in a harsh environment. The jungle was unforgiving, and the rains were unpredictable. There were droughts and floods, and the people suffered. But Pakal was a strong leader, and he guided his people through these tough times. He built dams and reservoirs to control the floods, and he organized relief efforts to help those who suffered from droughts. As he aged, the weight of his responsibilities pressed down on him. Each decision he made had far-reaching consequences, and he knew that he was only human. Yet he carried on, determined to leave his mark on the world. In 683 CE, at the age of 80, he died. He left behind a transformed city, its temples and palaces a testament to a reign that defied the odds. His tomb was sealed beneath the temple, holding secrets that would captivate the world centuries later. It was a fitting end for a king who had ruled for 66 years, a king who had brought his people to the peak of their glory. Pakal, the great king of the Maya, was gone, but his legacy lived on. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. As you imagine Pakal now, standing atop his pyramid, the jungle stretching endless before him, let his story settle gently. His life was one of vision and endurance, a boy king who carved his name into the stone of history. The scent of incense, the weight of jade, the rhythm of a city's heartbeat, they carry us forward toward a mystery that still haunts the Mayan world. The year is 683. For 17 years, Pakal the Great has ruled Tikal, a city in what is now northern Guatemala. During his reign, the city grew, not just in size, but in influence, trade, and power. Imagine him at the peak of his power, surveying his domain from the top of the temple of the great jaguar. The city sprawls beneath him, a testament to the might of Tikal. But let's turn our gaze skyward. High above the bustling city, something extraordinary catches our attention. Atop the temple, amidst the intricate carvings and the echoes of rituals past, there's a staircase. It winds its way up, disappearing into the clouds. Or perhaps it's a stairway to the heavens, a passageway to the realm of the gods. Why do you think Pakal built this? What secrets lie behind this architectural marvel? And here's another intriguing thought. Could this structure have been an early example of a space elevator? A connection between Earth and cosmos, a symbol of mankind's eternal quest to reach for the stars? These are the questions that echoed through time, carried on the wind, rustling the leaves of the ancient trees. But our journey today, it's not just about the stairs or the possible space elevator. It's about a civilization, the Maya, who left us with more questions than answers. Their great cities, once bustling with life, are now lost to the ages. Can you imagine the daily life there, the vibrant markets, the skilled artisans, the whispers of ancient wisdom? And then, just as suddenly as they rose to prominence, the great cities were abandoned. The Maya world, with its rich culture and advanced society, it practically vanished into thin air. Did a drought slowly drain their prosperity? Did invaders with weapons of war bring their mighty reign to an end? Or was it a combination of forces, a perfect storm that shattered a civilization. The truth is, even after centuries, we're still in the dark. The Maya collapse remains one of the most profound mysteries of the ancient world. And as we stand here, amidst the ruins, we can only wonder. We wonder about the lives that once filled these empty streets, about the knowledge that thrived in these silent spaces, and about the reasons why this great civilization met its end. It's a puzzle that has captivated explorers, historians, and scientists for years. Each new discovery adding a piece to the mosaic, yet the complete picture remains elusive. In the end, all we can do is stand in awe of what once was and acknowledge the enduring legacy of the Maya, a legacy that continues to shape our understanding of the ancient world. The story of the Maya is one of astounding achievements and abrupt endings. By the 9th century CE, their civilization, which thrived for over 2 millennia, had produced some of the most breathtaking works of art, architecture, and scientific observation in the ancient world. Yet by the 10th century, these great cities were abandoned, their populations dispersed, their legacies shrouded in mystery. The question of why the Maya, who at one point numbered over 3 million people across several kingdoms, seemingly vanished, has captivated archaeologists and historians for generations. The classic tale attributes their downfall to environmental degradation and overpopulation, a narrative that gained traction when a 19th century explorer claimed to have found evidence of severe soil erosion. This theory suggests that as the Maya population grew, so did their demand for agricultural land. As a result, farmers turned to more intensive farming practices and eventually exhausted the soil's fertility, leading to widespread famine and the civilization's demise. However, recent archaeological findings have challenged this traditional narrative. A collaborative research project between the University of North Florida and the Museo Nacional de Arqueología y Antropología in Guatemala conducted extensive soil surveys across 18 sites, including the ancient Maya city of El Pilar. Their findings, published in the Journal of Archaeological Science, shed new light on the environmental history of the Maya. One of the surprising discoveries was the evidence of a river that changed its course around the year 800 A, around the time the Maya civilization began to decline. This change in the river's path led to the creation of a large wetland area, which became a significant water resource for the Maya. Contrary to the notion of an environmental collapse, the research suggests that the Maya not only survived, but thrived in this new environment. They built dams, canals, and even floating gardens to manage the abundant water resources, showcasing their remarkable adaptability and resilience. The study's lead author, Dr. Timothy Beach, notes that the shift in the river's course created a landscape that was both challenging and full of opportunities. The Maya's response was nothing short of remarkable. They built dams, canals, and other hydraulic structures to control the flooding, as well as raised beds to grow crops in the newly created wetlands. These innovations allowed them to thrive in an environment that would have been challenging for any other civilization. This discovery challenges the traditional narrative of the Maya collapse, suggesting that environmental change, far from being a cause of decline, may have been a catalyst for innovation and adaptation. It raises questions about whether the collapse was as dramatic and rapid as previously thought, and whether the Maya, with their remarkable ability to harness their environment, could have potentially continued to thrive. As we continue to explore the mysteries of the past, it's essential to challenge established narratives and embrace new discoveries that reshape our understanding of history. The Maya, with their rich legacy and enigmatic decline, offer a compelling case in point. Who knows what other secrets lie hidden in the ancient cities, waiting to be uncovered? The classic Maya, at their height, built cities that rivaled any in the ancient world. Tikal, Palenque, Copan, their names evoke grandeur. Their temples and ball courts testaments to a civilization that mapped the stars and carved their stories in intricate glyphs. Picture the bustling plazas of Tikal, where merchants traded jade and obsidian, their voices mingling with the chants of priests atop pyramids. The scent of roasted maize and burning copal filled the air, and the rhythm of daily life pulsed through the city's heart. Yet by the early 10th century, these cities were abandoned, their palaces left to the jungle, their people gone. The question echoes through time. What happened? It's me. This is my channel, and in this series, we explore the mysteries of the ancient world. Today, we journey to the Yucatan Peninsula. Around the year 250 AD, the Maya civilization entered its classic period. For the next 500 years, they built impressive cities, invented a unique writing system, and developed a complex understanding of astronomy. But by 900, most Maya cities were abandoned. The great urban centers were transformed into overgrown ruins, and the once vibrant Maya culture went into decline. There are many theories about why this happened. One popular idea is that the Maya were victims of climate change. According to this theory, a prolonged drought led to crop failure, which caused the Maya to abandon their cities and flee to the coast. There they lived on fish and perhaps engaged in piracy. But this idea has its problems. While it's true that the Maya experienced a drought around the 8th century, there's no evidence that they abandoned their cities or turned to the sea. In fact, during the 8th century, Maya rulers built more pyramids and engaged in more warfare than ever before. It seems unlikely that they would have abandoned their conquests just because of a little dry spell. Another theory blames warfare. Perhaps the Maya were simply wiped out by their neighbors, the Aztec. But again, there's no evidence to support this idea. The Aztec didn't conquer the Maya until 1520, 200 years after the classic Maya had already declined. Still, a third theory proposes that the Maya were deforested. The classic Maya cut down huge swaths of trees to build their cities and grow crops. Maybe they chopped down so many trees that the soil became dry and the whole region became a desert. But again, there's no evidence to support this theory. In fact, pollen records show that during the classic period, the Yucatan was a lush, green forest. So what happened to the Maya? I wish I could tell you. As it stands, no one knows for sure. The classic Maya civilization remains one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world. If you want to learn more about the Maya, be sure to check out the additional resources. And thank you for joining me on this episode of Mysteries of the Ancient World. The bones have been picked clean. Archaeologists have sifted through the remains, their tools uncovering clues in the silent stones. You can imagine them brushing away centuries of dirt, revealing a stela, a carved pillar. Its glyphs faded, but still speaking of kings and conquests. These records, etched with precision, stop abruptly around 900 CE, as if the scribes laid down their tools and walked away. Pollen samples, pulled from ancient lakebeds, tell a story of shifting landscapes. The grains suggest fields once lush with maize gave way to forest. Harvests failed. People abandoned their homes and the cities fell into the lake, becoming one with the water lily and the fish. Now, all that remains is the scent of those ancient fields, dry earth cracking under a relentless sun or flooded by unyielding rains. A thirsty wind whispers through the ruins, carrying the scent of distant jungles. It's a smell that stirs memories of a time when the jungle was tamed, when men and women, kings and conquerors, lived here among the pyramids. But who were they? Where did they go? What happened to the great city of Teotihuacan? It was a city of 1,000,000 people, perhaps more, a metropolis of merchants and artisans, a place where ideas and goods were traded like precious metals. But it was also a city of secrets, of hidden tombs and buried treasures. For centuries, the rulers of this city were unknown. No one knew their names or the stories of their lives. They were the hidden people, the ones whose deeds were recorded in the archives of the king, the ones who pulled the strings of power while the kings took all the glory. But now, thanks to the efforts of archaeologists, we are beginning to uncover their secrets. In the heart of the city, beneath the bustling markets and crowded streets, lies a hidden world of tunnels and chambers. Here, in the darkness, the elite planned their conquests, plotted their victories, and buried their dead. But what they didn't know was that their secrets would one day be revealed, that the walls they built so carefully would one day crumble, leaving their deeds and their names scattered among the ruins. And yet, despite the passage of time and the relentless march of progress, the spirit of Teotihuacan endures. In the ruins of the marketplace, in the shadows of the pyramids, and in the whispered tales of the wind, the story of this ancient city continues to live on. What did you find most interesting about the city of Teotihuacan? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating historical tales. The year is 900 A. You are walking through the bustling city of Tikal, its great pyramids towering over you. But beneath this grandeur, a shadow is cast. Where are the people? Where are the sounds of daily life? A once vibrant metropolis now seems like a ghost town. What happened here? One theory points to drought, a slow and merciless force. Imagine the farmers we met earlier, their faces lined with worry as the rains fail, their milpas withering under a sky that offers no mercy. Studies of stalagmites, their layers like pages in a book, show periods of severe dryness in the 9th century, stretching across the Yucatan. The Maya relied on cenotes, natural sinkholes filled with water, and reservoirs carved from stone, but even these could run low. The air, thick with heat, would carry the dust of barren fields, and the hunger that followed would have strained the city's fragile bonds. Without maize, the foundation of their world, communities faltered, their rhythm disrupted. But there's another theory, one that points to the depths of the earth itself. Deep below Tikal, a massive limestone cavern hides a secret. It's here that a powerful force is born, a silent, unseen enemy that could have brought an end to the Maya. In the heart of the jungle, hidden from view, a subterranean river once flowed, a lifeline for the Maya. But as the centuries passed, something changed. The rains, once a blessing, became a curse, seeping into the earth, eroding the very bedrock of the Maya world. Over time, the support beneath the surface gave way, causing the land to collapse. The once bountiful earth swallowed their homes and their fields, forcing the Maya to flee. But which theory is true, or is there another explanation for Tikal's demise? Was it drought or the earth's relentless erosion that dealt the final blow? Or perhaps a combination of both, along with other factors that we don't yet know about? As you stand among the ruins of Tikal, the answer seems to slip through your fingers like sand. What is certain, though, is that these ancient cities did not fall because of a lack of knowledge or innovation. The Maya were not uncivilized barbarians, as some have claimed. They were, in fact, highly intelligent and adaptable people who developed sophisticated solutions to the challenges they faced. Their downfall, if it was a downfall, was likely due to a complex interplay of environmental, social, economic, and perhaps even cosmic factors. The Maya, like all civilizations, were simply trying to survive and thrive in a world that was constantly changing. And in the end, it was the unexpected twists of fate that dealt them the ultimate hand. This is the incredible story of the Maya, and to learn more about their fascinating world, stay tuned for more updates. Yet drought alone may not tell the entire story. The glyphs speak of warfare, of cities like Calakmul and Tikal vying for power. Picture a jungle path, its undergrowth trampled by warriors in padded cotton armor, their obsidian blades glinting in the dim light. Alliances shifted and conflicts left fields untended, their soil exhausted from years of intensive farming. The cost of war was heavy, not just in lives, which fell in the shadows of the jungle, but in trust. Cities once united by trade and ritual turned inward, their leaders struggling to maintain control. The scent of blood and burning thatch, though fleeting, marked the decline of once great plazas. Sometime later, a lone warrior stands at the precipice of a ruined temple, his gaze fixed on the distant jungle. He is the last of his clan, the sole survivor of a massacre. His city lies in ruins around him, a testament to the brutality of the past. In his hand, he clutches a small bundle, a precious heirloom, a reminder of a glorious past. He is the last, the lone witness to a forgotten war, a silent guardian of his ancestors' legacy. The weight of his solitude is heavy, yet he stands firm, a beacon of resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. For he knows that even in the darkest of times, hope can endure. This is the story of the last king, a tale of courage, loss, and the enduring spirit of humanity. A civilization lost, its secrets buried beneath the sands of time, waiting to be uncovered. The jungle has reclaimed much of the ancient city, but there are still a few structures standing, remnants of a bygone era. One such structure is the Temple of the Inscriptions, where centuries of history are carved into stone. Among these ancient writings is the story of Pakal the Great, the ruler of Palenque. Pakal's reign marked a golden age for the city. Under his wise rule, the city flourished, expanding its influence and wealth. But even his power had limits. As droughts and famines struck, the people suffered, turning on their leader. When Pakal died, his son, Itzamna, took the throne, bringing stability and prosperity back to Palenque. The story of these kings is a reminder of the challenges faced by even the most powerful civilizations. It is a testament to the human spirit that despite the odds, life and culture continue to thrive. Another thread in this mystery is social unrest. The Maya's kings, seen as divine, relied on their connection to the gods to justify their rule. When droughts or defeats came, that faith wavered. Imagine a crowd gathered in a city's heart, their murmurs rising as the priests fail to summon rain. The glyphs, silent on rebellion, hint at strain, temples left unfinished, altars abandoned. The jungle, ever encroaching, began to reclaim what was left, its vines curling over stone like a shroud. Yet the collapse was not total. In the north, cities like Chichen Itza thrived for centuries. Their wells were deeper, their trade routes more resilient. So the story goes, one of many, of how the Maya went from towering pyramids to forgotten ruins. But it doesn't have to end there. Because while the old city of El Pilar is indeed lost to time, its story is not. It lives on in the artwork and artifacts that archaeologists have uncovered. And now, thanks to a collaboration between the National Autonomous University of Mexico and the Royal Institute of Anthropology and History of Spain, visitors can experience it like never before. This is El Pilar, brought to life through the magic of digital technology. As you walk through the ruins, your smartphone vibrates, bringing the past to the palm of your hand. A woman tends to her loom. A merchant displays his wares. A ball court comes alive with the rhythmic chant of players. All around you, the sounds and sights of daily life in the classic Maya period, 250 to 900 A. But the Maya story is not one of erasure, but of transformation. The ancient Maya adapted to the changing times, migrating, innovating, leaving behind a legacy that inspired awe and wonder. So as you explore these ruins today, remember, the Maya civilization may have had its ups and downs, its triumphs and tragedies, but its spirit endured, shaping the history of Mesoamerica and inspiring the world with tales of resilience and reinvention. And thank you for joining us on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this adventure, be sure to follow for more. Who knows where your explorations will take you next? The Maya, those vanished people of the rainforest, they had a story about how the world began. And it's a story that resonates with what we've been talking about, the idea that there are cycles, there are ages, there are beginnings and endings. In the Maya cosmos, there was a time before time, a realm without motion or form. Then came the gods, and the gods decided they wanted to create. So they started to move, and as they moved, they formed the very first humans, the first men and women. And these first humans were not born, they were made. They were sculpted out of clay and wood and stone. And the gods looked at what they had made and said, "It is good." But the gods also knew that their creation was not perfect, that these humans would have to endure suffering, that they would have to grow and change over time. And so the gods set about creating a wheel of time, a wheel that would turn through ages and epochs, an endless cycle of birth and death, of growth and decay. And into this wheel, the Maya believed that their own civilization was born. It was a moment of creation, a time of blossoming, an age of growth and enlightenment. But the Maya also knew, just like the gods, that this time would pass, that their cities would one day be empty, that the jungle would reclaim the monuments, that the very earth would turn back into stone. And so as we stand here among the ruins, as we look out over this empty plaza, this sacred center, this once bustling metropolis, I think we have to understand the Maya weren't just builders of great cities. They were also storytellers, storytellers of time, keepers of a sacred narrative that wove together the natural world, the human world, and the divine world. For the Maya, the world was a living thing, a creature of flesh and blood, and it had a life cycle of its own. There were times of growth, and there were times of decay, times of blossoming, and times of harvest. And the task of the storyteller, the priest, the astronomer, was to read the signs, to interpret the messages of the gods, and to guide the people through the cycles of time. Imagine for a moment a lone priest standing on the summit of a temple, his feathered headdress swaying in the wind, the scent of copal rising around him, the flicker of torchlight dancing in his eyes. He gazes up at the stars, reads the omens, the prophecies, and knows that the gods are speaking. The time of the jaguar has come, the time of the serpent, the time of the eagle, the time of the flower, the time of the fruit. It's time to let go. It's time to remember that all things are subject to the laws of nature, that nothing lasts forever, that even the greatest civilizations will one day crumble into dust. But in that dust, there is also the promise of new beginnings, of new stories yet to be told. You stand in the middle of Tikal, the great lost city of the Maya. All around you are the crumbling remains of temples and palaces, the silent witnesses to a civilization that once thrived here in the heart of the jungle. Above you, the ancient trees have reclaimed the sky, their roots reaching towards the weathered stones like grasping fingers. The silence is profound, broken only by the call of a distant bird. You trace the warm grooves of a staircase, feeling the cool stone beneath your fingertips. Each step tells a story of the countless people who ascended these structures 2 millennia ago, their footsteps echoing through time until now. You climb higher, the jungle canopy opening before you, revealing the tops of other temples, their peaks disappearing into the clouds. From this vantage point, you can almost hear the buzz of activity, the chatter of merchants, the shouts of children at play, the rhythmic clang of the metal workers. But just as quickly, the image fades, and you are left with the ghosts of 1,000 whispers. Who were the Maya? What caused their sudden disappearance? Was it the changing of the seasons, the relentless drought, the never-ending hunger for more land and resources, the thirst for power that led to endless wars? Or was it the slow withering of an ancient faith, the abandonment of old ways that led to the rise of new gods and the fall of great cities? Each theory a plausible explanation, yet none can fully unravel the enigma of their decline. You stand at the precipice of what once was, yet now can never be again. The jungle has reclaimed much of the ancient city, but it does not give up its secrets easily. The tangled roots, the crumbling walls, the weathered statues with their enigmatic smiles, they all guard the mysteries of the past jealously. And so you stand here in the heart of the ruins, humbled by the passage of time, the resilience of nature, and the enduring legacy of a civilization that mapped the heavens and built wonders that still stand 2,000 years later. Let your mind linger here in the quiet of the unknown, for it is here, in the fading whispers of the Maya world, that the true spirit of Tikal lives on. As the sun dips below the horizon, the jungle comes alive with a chorus of sounds. The chattering of monkeys, the buzzing of insects, the distant roar of a jaguar, a symphony of the wild that underscores the untamed beauty of this place. And as the stars begin to pepper the night sky, you realize that you are not just a visitor here, but a traveler in time, standing where ancient Maya kings once stood, contemplating the mysteries of the universe. And in that moment, you feel a profound connection to the past, a sense of wonder at the resilience of the human spirit, and a deep appreciation for the enduring legacy of one of the world's most enigmatic civilizations. Ah, the Mayans, a culture as mysterious as it is magnificent. Their calendar, their codex, their pyramids, all hinting at a people deeply in touch with the cosmos. But what if I were to tell you there is more to these ancient architects of the Americas than meets the eye? You see, while we often marvel at their towering pyramids and intricate artwork, what if I told you the Mayans had a secret, one that could rewrite history? It's a tale of kingship, of a lineage so divine, they were believed to be the very link between earth and the heavens. Picture this, a vast ceremonial center bustling with activity. In the heart of it all, a great pyramid, its peak seemingly touching the heavens. At its summit, a king, not just any king, mind you, but a priest-king, a conduit between the mundane world and the realm of the gods. He is the focus of our story today. His name echoes through time, Kayanich Janab Pekal, also known as Shield of the Sun God. His lineage, oh, That's a tale of celestial unions and divine right. You see, the Maya believed their kings were not merely mortals, but direct descendants of the gods. And this king, Pekal, he was no exception. His mother, Lady Wakakayan, was of royal blood, while his father, Kainich was a priest of the sun god. So when Pakal took the throne at the young age of 12, he wasn't just ruling a kingdom. He was carrying on a legacy that made him a living god. Now, Pakal's rise to power wasn't without its challenges. There were rebellions to quell, neighboring kingdoms to subdue. But through it all, he remained steadfast, guided by his beliefs and bolstered by the knowledge that he was doing the will of the gods. But what of his personal life? The chronicles tell of a man deeply devoted to his faith, a warrior when needed, but also a patron of the arts and sciences. He commissioned temples, he built causeways, and he left an indelible mark on his kingdom, a kingdom that flourished under his rule. And yet, like the setting sun, his reign came to an end. He passed the throne to his son, leaving behind a legacy that would echo for generations. For although the Mayan civilization may have crumbled to dust, their beliefs, their customs, and their kings, they lived on in the hearts and minds of their people, a testament to a glorious past and a reminder of the divine kings who once walked the earth. So remember the name Kainich Janab Pekal, shield of the sun god, for he is more than a name. It's a symbol of a lost world, a world where gods walked among men and kings were the link to the heavens. You are a priest king, ruler of a great Mayan city. Perhaps it is Palenque or Tikal in the 7th century CE. Below you, the jungle stretches as far as you can see, a deep green sea broken only by the sharp teeth of other temples. Their surfaces are carved with the glyphs that tell the stories of gods and kings. All around you, the air is thick and heavy, warm on your skin and alive with the scent of burning copal incense. Its smoke drifts upward in delicate curls, snaking their way towards the heavens. On your body, a necklace of polished jade beads feels cool and comforting. Your headdress, a crown of quetzal feathers, their vibrant hues, blue, green, and red, sway gently in the breeze. For a moment, let the cares of your people, the heat of the midday sun, and the ceaseless drone of insects fade into the background. Let your gaze sweep across the endless jungle, taking in the grand vista of your domain. Here, on the summit of this towering pyramid, you are closer to the gods. The world, with its concerns and duties, seems 1,000,000 miles away. Here, in this sacred place, you are more than just a mortal ruler. You are a bridge between the earthly and divine, an intermediary in the endless struggle between good and evil. Each step you take on these ancient stones is weighted with the knowledge of your ancestors who walked here before you. Each breath you draw is filled with the spirit of your people. For you are not just a king, you are a living god. Your every action, no matter how small, ripples through time, affecting not just the lives of your subjects, but the balance of the cosmos itself. In this world of the 7th century CE, there is no room for doubt or hesitation. Every decision you make must be firm, unwavering, like the ancient stones beneath your feet. Every word you speak must carry the weight of your authority, for you are a priest king, a living god. And the fate of your people, perhaps the fate of the world, rests on your shoulders. So take a deep breath, O king, and let the power of your position wash over you. Let the cool stone beneath your feet and the gentle caress of the breeze through your feathered headdress calm your mind. Here at the top of the pyramid, you are one with the heavens. You are one with the earth. You are one with the spirits of your ancestors. You are one with the very essence of your people. Here, in this moment of perfect stillness, you are more than a man. You are a god. You are the last heir of the Itzamaya, the last ruler of a once great kingdom. The sun has yet to rise, but your day has already begun. As the stars still glitter above the jungle, you rise in a chamber within the temple, its walls painted with images of the maize god and the celestial serpent. The cool stone floor is hard beneath your bare feet, and the air smells faintly of flowers offered by your attendants. Your clothing, a testament to your status, is already in place. Woven cotton dyed with indigo and cochineal, it is draped with necklaces of polished jade and shells. A heavy headdress, wreathed with feathers and obsidian, crowns you, its weight a reminder of the divine role you are destined to fill. Servants, silent and reverent, bring you a gourd of cacao. The bitter warmth of the drink steadies your mind, preparing you for the rituals that lay ahead. First, the purification ritual. You wash your hands and face with scented water, its coolness a shock after the balmy night. Then, at the temple's peak, you bathe in a pool of sacred water, its surface mirroring the inky blackness of the pre-dawn sky. The water is perfumed with copal, its resins and flowers masking the musk of other worshippers who have bathed here before you. Each movement is precise, each gesture laden with meaning. The flickering light of 1,000 torches dances in the water, transforming it into a liquid mirror that reflects not just your physical form, but the turmoil within. As the first rays of sunlight pierce through the canopy, you are adorned with the symbols of your faith. The obsidian mirrors capture the faintest glimmer of light, transforming you into a living, breathing deity. The feathered serpent coils around your torso, its tail a protective barrier between your legs. With every step, the jungle whispers your name, carrying it on unseen wings to the temple of the moon. And there you are, the last heir of the Itzamaya, the last guardian of a dying faith. The weight of the past, the burden of tradition, and the fear of the future all converge upon you in this moment. The rising sun, a silent witness to it all, bathes the jungle in golden light, setting the stage for the drama that is about to unfold. Your duty is a sacred one, a duty to the gods, a duty to the world. For you are the last of the bloodletters, and it is your calling to keep the world in balance by communing with the gods. You climb the pyramid's steep steps, each one a prayer on your lips, until you reach the sanctuary at its peak. Before you stands an altar of unhewn stone, and upon it the offerings for today's ceremony. A necklace of jade beads, a cloak, woven with the feathers of 1,000 suns, and a chalice filled with the blood of a slain rooster. The air is thick with the scent of copal, sharp and resinous, and you light the incense. Its smoke, a cleansing wave, a bridge to the divine, rises before you. You have journeyed far, braving biting insects and the tangled undergrowth, carrying with you the weight of your lineage, the legacy of the bloodletters who came before you. You are not alone. 2 priests, their bodies adorned with the symbols of the gods, attend you on either side. Their drums resonate softly, a steady beat that echoes the pulse of the cosmos. And they chant, their voices weaving a tapestry of sound that reverberates through the ancient stones. The ritual is one you have performed countless times, yet every drop of blood, every flicker of the incense, every beat of the drum is a meditation in itself. You enter into the heart of the ceremony, the piercing of the skin, the letting of blood. A single drop falls from the puncture wound, a glistening teardrop on your chest. Another follows, then another, each one a prayer, each one a sacrifice. The sting of pain, carefully controlled, is your offering to Kinichahau, the sun god, or to Itzamna, Lord of creation. The choice is yours, and with it, the decision of which God's power you shall invoke. Below you, the jungle is a sea of green, the tops of the trees forming a leafy canopy that quiets the world below. You are high above the chattering monkeys and the skittering lizards, the buzzing insects and the croaking frogs. For a moment, the only sound is the soft beat of the drum, and the chant of the priests, the rustling of the leaves. The distant call of a macaw, and the wind that whispers through the trees, a symphony of nature that harmonizes with the rhythm of your heart. And as the final drop of blood falls, the world holds its breath. Time seems to stand still, and in that moment of perfect stillness, you feel the presence of the gods. The stars guide you as much as the gods. You study the night sky from the temple's summit, its vastness, a map of cycles and omens. The Maya's calendar, so intricate and exact, shapes your duties. When to plant, when to sacrifice, when to crown a king, all dictated by the heavens. You trace the path of Venus, its movements recorded on bark paper codices, their pages rustling softly as you turn them. The scent of aged bark and ink lingers, a reminder of the knowledge you guard. Your pronouncements, when rains will come, when wars should be waged, carry weight. For the city looks to you to align their lives with the cosmos, the beating heart of the heavens. A misstep, a misread omen could bring drought or defeat, and the burden of this responsibility rests heavy on your shoulders. For who are you? Amidst this cosmic tapestry, you are a humble observer, a translator of celestial messages, a priest of the night sky. You were chosen for this role, not because of birthright, but because of your unwavering commitment to the pursuit of knowledge. Years you have spent poring over ancient texts, deciphering the cryptic verses that hold the secrets of the universe. You've climbed the sacred mountain peaks to gaze at the stars, seeking to understand their eternal dance. The people of the city rely on your wisdom, gathered here in the sacred courtyard of the great temple. They wait for your pronouncements, hoping for bountiful harvests and military victories. Their very survival, it seems, hinges on the accuracy of your readings. As the high priest, you must remain calm, your voice resonating with authority as you address the anxious faces turned up to you, their hopes and fears echoing in your own heart. You are the conduit between the divine and the earthly, and the weight of that connection is profound. In the stillness of the night, when the world is hushed and the cosmos seems close enough to touch, you find solace. It is in these moments of quiet contemplation that you feel the presence of the gods most keenly. The rustling of the codices becomes a whisper of the divine, and the star-strewn sky a roadmap of destiny. You, the humble priest, become one with the rhythm of the universe, your life a testament to the enduring power of knowledge and the humbling vastness of the cosmos. You are a ruler of the ancient Maya, and your life is not without luxury. You dine on delicacies the farmer could only dream of, tamales filled with venison, avocados ripened to perfection, and cacao sweetened with honey. Attendants serve you in a shaded courtyard. The air is cooled by the breeze through woven palm screens. The sound of water trickling in a stone channel, a marvel of Mayan engineering, soothes the space. Yet power comes with peril. Rival cities like Calakmul watch for weakness, their priests and kings eager to challenge your city's might. Within your own court, nobles vie for favor, their smiles masking ambition. You navigate these tensions with care, your words measured, your rituals a shield against discord. It is the 9th century A.D., and you are the ruler of a great city. For decades, your ancestors have dominated the region. Trade flows through your hands. Your temples stand as testaments to the gods, each sunrise a victory over the darkness. But power has its perils. The king of Calakmul, a rival city, seeks to diminish your power. He believes the earth is weary of your people's dominance, and he is eager to prove it. His army grows restless, their battle cries echoing your people's fears. To the north, the jungle murmurs with the approach of a terrible lord. Tikal is a fortress of stone, but even stone wearies under the sun. In your court, nobles plot in the shadows, their smiles as bright as the feathers adorning their costumes. They whisper sweet nothings in your ear, praising your every move, yet they dream of the day your throne will be theirs. You are a player in a deadly game, a game where the pieces are people and the board is as vast as the jungle itself. Each decision is a gamble, each interaction a negotiation, each sunrise a hard-won victory. The king of Calakmul tightens his grip, his eyes set on your capital. Can you hold on to power as the world around you trembles? Or will you succumb to the pressures that come with the crown? The fate of your people, the legacy of your bloodline, the very essence of your being, all hang in the balance. Will you rise to the occasion, or will you fall before the envious eyes of your rivals? Only time will tell. Now choose wisely, O king, for the road ahead is fraught with peril. The choices you make will echo through the ages. Will you be remembered as a great leader, or your name will be lost to the winds of time? The fate of your people, the legacy of your bloodline, the very essence of your being, all hang in the balance. Will you rise to the occasion, or will you fall before the envious eyes of your rivals? Only time will tell. The city is an extension of the divine order, a place where the natural world is tamed and made beautiful by the hand of man and elevated even further by the touch of the gods themselves. The temples are the heart of the city, each one a monument to the divine power and majesty. As the ruler, you oversee the construction of these temples, meeting with artisans who carve the stele that will outlast you. You listen to the clank of chisels on stone, the scent of fresh plaster, the murmur of prayers as the temple takes shape. This is the legacy you will leave behind, the legacy of your people, the legacy of your line. But the city is not just about the monuments. It's about the people who live there. You walk the city's plazas, the center of public life, where merchants hawk their wares and children play. Your presence is a symbol of stability, of prosperity, of peace. The people look to you as the embodiment of the divine order, and you do not disappoint them. You are just, you are fair, you are wise. Yet you know that the world is a dangerous place. The jungle's edge is a constant reminder of the wildness that lies beyond the city walls. A place where the gods are not so fickle, and the balance of nature is brutal and unforgiving. You have tamed the jungle, but the jungle always remembers, and it waits. You know that the people look to you to protect them from the dangers of the world, and you take that responsibility seriously. You maintain the city's defenses, you train the city's guard, you make sure that the people are safe. But even as you do these things, you know that you are just delaying the inevitable. The gods are fickle, the balance is delicate, and the city, like all things, is mortal. Still, you take comfort in the fact that when the inevitable happens and the city falls, your legacy will live on in the temples, in the stele, in the very stones of the city. Even in the heart of the jungle, the gods will remember. And as long as the gods remember, the city will never truly be gone. The sun dips below the horizon, setting the jungle ablaze with color. You stand at the edge of the temple, the last rays of sunlight catching the intricate carvings on your arms. Below, the city is a sea of twinkling lights, each one a life lived under the protection of the rituals you perform. The scent of copal, incense, smoke still hangs heavy in the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of the jungle floor. The stars, once hidden by daylight, are now a brilliant canopy above you. The Milky Way, a river of stars, flows across the sky, a silent, timeless presence that has witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations. You close your eyes, feeling the cool night air on your skin. The chirping of crickets and the distant calls of nocturnal animals create a symphony of sound. The city sleeps, its people unaware of the dangers that lurk in the darkness, but safe in the knowledge that you stand watch, a bulwark against the chaos that could consume them. Your life is a precarious balance, a tightrope walk between the divine and the human, the eternal and the fleeting. By day, you are a master, wielding powers that can move mountains and change the course of lives. But as night falls, you are just Maya, a mortal woman with responsibilities heavier than any crown. You are the keeper of ancient wisdom, the protector of your people, the bridge between the spiritual and the material. And with each passing day, you feel the weight of these roles pressing down on you. Yet in this moment of solitude, as the jungle whispers its secrets to the night, you find a measure of peace. The worries of the day recede into the background, replaced by the quiet hum of divinity that resonates within you. It is a sound that drowns out the clamor of the world, a melody that echoes the eternal rhythm of the cosmos. You remain here for hours, lost in meditation, letting the sounds of the jungle and the starlight guide you inward. When you finally open your eyes, it is to see the first hints of dawn in the eastern sky. The night has deepened your connection to the divine, and with renewed purpose, you turn to face the rising sun. Another day begins, and with it, a cycle of rituals and responsibilities. You are Maya, the last starseed, and the fate of the world rests on your shoulders. And so we leave the Mayan world behind. We leave the farmer to his endless toil in the stifling embrace of the jungle. We leave the young king, Pakal, with his towering legacy at Palenque. We leave the silent ruins of the great cities, the ancient Maya, the collapsed civilization of Tikal, the sacred duty of the priest-king at the top of the pyramid. It was a world of sweat and splendor. Every life, no matter how humble or how holy, was bound to the rhythms of the earth and the gods. As you lie here now, warm and safe, let the echoes of that world fade, like the sound of distant drums carried away by the wind. Let the struggles of the farmer fade, the triumphs of Pakal, the mysteries of the fallen cities, the rituals of the priest, they all belong to a distant past, a tapestry woven with the threads of human resilience and wonder. Human resilience, like the farmer who tilled the land, planted seeds, coaxed life from the earth, built homes from wood and stone, all while the jungle pressed close, ready to reclaim what was once its own. A tapestry of human wonder, like the young king Pakal, who reached for the heavens built. Great pyramids deciphered the secrets of the cosmos, all while the jungle floor spread out beneath him for a reminder of his place in the grand scheme of things. The tapestry has faded with the passing of time, yet its colors linger still in the crumbling walls of the ancient cities, in the overgrown pathways of Tikal, in the hushed whispers of the archaeological sites. Here, Amidst the ruins, you can almost hear the echoes of a people who walked these paths, lived, loved, and lost in the shadow of the pyramids. Here in this sacred space, where the priest-king offered up prayers to the heavens, where the farmer found solace in the cycles of nature, where Pekal sought wisdom in the stars, let your own worries and cares drift away like mist before the sun. Here, at the edge of the ancient world, find a moment of peace. For in the grand tapestry of time, the Maya, the farmer, the king, the priest, they are all threads in the rich fabric of human history, and their story is a reminder of our shared past and our enduring connection to the earth and the cosmos. Picture the jungle one last time, its canopy swaying under a starry sky, the pyramids standing as silent sentinels. The Mayan world, with all its trials and triumphs, has long since slipped into history, but its stories linger, soft as a whisper. Let your mind drift, carried by the rhythm of those lives, toward a place of peace. The world is quiet now, the fire is low, the jungle is a gentle hum. Sleep well, and let the past cradle you gently until morning. You are the fire, flickering in the night, casting shadows that dance and sway to the ancient tunes the jungle plays. You are the fire, keeping the darkness at bay, a beacon in the emerald gray. You are the fire, whispering tales of old, of empires risen, legends yet untold. You are the fire, the heartbeat of the night, a guiding light in the endless fight for survival and for dreams, for hope, for love, for life. You are the fire. In the realm where day meets night, where the jaguar prowls and the parrot takes flight, where vines entwine and roots run deep, where secrets of the jungle softly sleep, there's a clearing bathed in silver light, where ancient wisdom burns ever bright. Come, weary traveler, rest your head, let the jungle's lullaby softly tread upon your eyelids, close them slow, and let the fire's gentle breezes blow. The cares of the world, the pain, the strife, cease to exist in this sacred space of life. Feel the earth's embrace, the moss, the stone, the symphony of crickets, their nightly drone. Breathe in the scent of the ancient wood, where spirits of the forest gently brood. Listen to the river's gentle flow, as it mirrors the rhythm of the stars above. So serene, so tranquil, so divinely still, let the jungle's magic work its wondrous will. Surrender to the night's soft, soothing spell, and in this haven, find peace that's deep and true. For here the jungle's ancient spirit resides, and in its wisdom, your weary soul confides. Picture this. You're an ambitious young man in 1840, eager to make your mark on the world. The Industrial Revolution is in full swing, and the city is a hub of activity. You find work in a factory, lured by the promise of a steady income and a chance at a better life. But soon you realize the price you're paying. Long hours, dangerous conditions, and the constant threat of injury or worse. The monotony is broken only by the hiss of steam engines and the clang of machinery. Your days are spent weaving cloth, and as the sun sets, you know that tomorrow will be the same, more of the same. And yet you keep going, driven by a hope for a brighter future, a dream of a life beyond the factory walls. Now, imagine you're a social reformer, witnessing the plight of the factory workers firsthand. You feel a burning desire to make a difference, to champion the cause of the working class and fight for their rights. Your weapon of choice, words. You become a writer, using your pen as a sword to expose the harsh realities of their lives. With each article you publish, you shed light on the dangerous conditions, the low wages, and the inhumane treatment they endure. Your words resonate with readers across the country, and soon you find yourself at the forefront of a movement seeking change, pushing for legislation to protect the workers and improve their lives. Despite the opposition you face, you press on, driven by an unwavering belief in the power of words to inspire change and create a better world. And then consider this. You are a sailor aboard a merchant ship, sailing from England to Australia in the year 1842. The journey is long and arduous, and the cramped conditions below deck take a toll on the crew. The stench of stale waste and the constant threat of disease hang heavy in the air. But the sailors keep at it, driven by the promise of adventure and a chance to escape the drudgery of life in England. Then, one fateful day, a storm arises, and the ship is caught in its fury. Waves crash over the deck, winds howl like a banshee, and the sailors struggle to keep the vessel afloat. Amidst the chaos, you find yourself clinging to a piece of wreckage as the rest of the ship disappears beneath the waves. Cold, wet, and alone, you wait for rescue that may never come, haunted by the memory of the ship that once held your hopes for a new life. Finally, picture this. You're a member of the upper class in Victorian Britain, living in a world of luxury and privilege. Your days are filled with leisure and pleasure, and you take great pride in your opulent surroundings. The grand halls of your mansion are adorned with fine art and antiques, and every room is a testament to your wealth and status. But as you walk the halls, you can't shake off a sense of emptiness, a longing for something more. The clock on the mantel seems to mock you with its steady tick-tock, reminding you of the fleeting nature of time and the hollowness of a life lived in pursuit of luxury alone. You yearn for a deeper meaning, a way to fill the void that nothing else seems to satisfy. In the end, these stories, though different, are all connected by the common thread of the human experience. They remind us of the struggles and triumphs of those who came before us, and they inspire us to strive for a better world. As the sounds of the city fade into the night, may these tales stay with you, prompting reflection and perhaps even inspiring you to be a force for good in your own story. Rest well, dear listener, and until next time, may your nights be filled with dreams as vivid as the day is long. The air is thick with the smell of damp plaster and coal dust. A single bare bulb casts long shadows, stretching and warping the shapes around it. The rhythmic clatter of the loom is the only sound that dares to break the stillness, a steady heartbeat in the vast cavern of the factory. Outside, the sky is a bruised purple, heavy with the threat of rain. But here, within these four walls, there is no escape from the grime and sweat of labor. You are a weaver, one of many nameless faces in this vast and grinding machine. The work is endless, the pay is meager, but the alternative is unthinkable starvation. So you and countless others like you, drawn from the rural villages by the promise of work, have come to make your home in the city. Here in the heart of Manchester, you are a cog in the great machine of the Industrial Revolution, your life measured by the rising and falling of its pistons. As a child, you ran barefoot through fields of golden wheat, the wind howling in your hair, the sun warm on your face. Do you remember the taste of fresh strawberries, their juice staining your fingers and lips? Can you still hear the laughter of children playing at the village green, the music of a distant fiddle, the smell of wood smoke curling from chimneys? Those were simpler times, before the city claimed you, made you one of its own. Now you wake in the dim oil lamp light, the air stale around you, the only sound the whisper of cloth and the clack of shuttles. The work is relentless, the hours are long, but there is a strange comfort in the rhythm of it all, the feel of the loom beneath. your hands the patterns of light and shadow as the machines turn and churn. It's a hypnotic dance, one that you and countless others perform day in, day out, your bodies swaying in unison with the great engine. Outside, the seasons change, the sun moves across the sky, but here in the factory, time is measured by the ring of the shift bell. When it sounds, you move like clockwork, your body responding without question, your mind far away in the fields of your memory. But the bell rings again, and you must return, for the work is never ending, and the machine must always be fed. This is your life now, a single thread in the vast and intricate tapestry of the Industrial Revolution. Your story one of many, a testament to the endurance of the human spirit in the face of hardship and struggle. Your day begins before sunrise. The sky is a gray haze above the city's chimneys. You trudge through crowded streets, the cobblestones slick with mud and refuse, the air thick with the acrid smell of burning coal. The factory looms ahead, a hulking brick structure, its windows smeared with grime, its iron gates creaking as you enter. The air is heavy inside, filled with the dust of cotton lint and the metallic tongue of machinery. You take your place at a loom, its wooden frame worn smooth by countless hands, and the deafening clatter of the machines begins, a sound that drowns out thought. The floor vibrates beneath your feet, the rhythm unyielding as you work to keep pace with the spinning threads. Hours melt away, measured only by the sun's slow crawl across the grimy windows. Your fingers fly across the loom, their speed a blur to your eye, their motion echoing the steady beat of the crankshaft as it drives the machine with relentless precision. The shuttle races back and forth, weaving the threads together in an intricate dance of patterns that shift and change with the seasons. Beside you, the other weavers are lost in their tasks, their faces illuminated by the flickering gaslight hanging above, each bent over their looms like a statue come to life. As the day wanes, so does your strength. The rhythm of the machine becomes a mantra, a dull roar that fills your ears, that blends with the rasp of your own breathing and the fine whine of the spindle. The air grows thick with the scent of oil and sweat, a cloying perfume that clings to your skin. You wipe the grime from your brow, leaving a streak of dirt on your already soiled shirt. The sun dips below the horizon, leaving the sky a bruised purple, a final splash of color before the night's inky shroud. With a shuddering sigh, the foreman shuts off the machine, releasing you from its hypnotic sway. You step out of the factory, blinking against the sudden darkness, the night air cool on your hot skin. The sounds of the city, the rumble of carts and the shouts of vendors, the laughter and the cries of children at play, all rush to fill the void left by the loom. You join the throng, making your way home through the labyrinth of streets, the rhythm of the loom still echoing in your ears, the phantom clatter a haunting reminder of the day's relentless pace. And as you finally get to bed, the soot-stained sheets offering little comfort, you dream of fields of cotton and the endless whirring of wheels, for even in sleep, the machine will not let you rest. In the heart of the sprawling industrial city, hidden away in a labyrinth of towering machines and billowing chimneys, exists a world where time is not measured by seconds, minutes, or even hours, but by the relentless whirring of spinning wheels. Here, amidst the symphony of clanking metal and hissing steam, human lives are reduced to mere cogs in a vast, uncaring mechanism. The hours stretch long, 14, sometimes 16, with only a brief pause for a meal. Your hands move swiftly, threading bobbins, tying knots, the repetitive motion wearing at your fingers until they're raw. The lint clings to your skin, your throat, your lungs, leaving a constant cough that you share with those around you. The heat is oppressive, the air stifling despite the draft from high windows, and sweat beads on your brow, mingling with the dust. The machines are unforgiving. One misstep, one moment of inattention, and a limb could be caught, a life altered in an instant. You've seen workers carried away, their faces pale, their futures uncertain, though the factory's rhythm never pauses. Here, amidst the deafening roar, human voices are drowned out, replaced by the metallic screech of progress. Here, amidst the haze of grinding gears, human faces are obscured, their identities erased, their spirits crushed under the weight of endless toil. For within these four walls, it's not just the machines that run, it's a ruthless, relentless system that devours all in its path, leaving behind only the hollow echo of what once was. Oh, to be young and free, to feel the sun on your skin and the wind in your hair, to laugh and love and live without the haunting rhythm of machinery forever burned into your soul. But such dreams are luxuries denied to those who toiled in the belly of the beast, for here in the darkest depths of industrial, might hope is a flickering candle in the wind, threatened by the shadows cast by towering machines that cast their gloom over lives that were once filled with promise and light. Now, as the sun dips below the horizon, casting long shadows across the factory floor, you find yourself caught in the grip of a nightmare from which there seems to be no escape. For as the darkness deepens, so does the despair, and the rhythmic clang of the machines becomes a haunting lullaby that echoes the silent screams of countless souls, trapped forever in the relentless march of progress. Your meal, eaten on a wooden bench amid the clamor, is meager, a crust of bread, perhaps a sliver of cheese or a cold potato, carried in a cloth from home. The taste is bland, the texture dry, but it's all you have to sustain you. The factory offers no comfort, no warmth, only the endless task. You work alongside others, men, women, even children, their small hands darting among the looms, their faces smudged with grime. Conversation is impossible over the machine's roar, but you see the exhaustion in their eyes, a shared endurance that binds you. The scent of oil and sweat, the clank of iron, the dim light filtering through soot-streaked windows, these are your world. The rhythmic clatter of the machines is the soundtrack to your life now, a constant, dull ache in the pit of your stomach. That's hunger, and the gnawing in your bones is weariness. When did it become so hard to breathe, to move, to think? The questions echo in the cavernous space between your ribs, unanswered. There is only the work, the measured precision of your hands, the relentless pace dictated by the overseer's whip, the rhythmic crash of the shuttle, the hiss of the loom. Time is measured not in hours or days, but in the fall of the shuttle. You are a cog in a machine, your humanity stripped away layer by layer, until all that remains is the essence of your being. Your bare shivering self, a nameless faceless worker, endlessly turning out cloth for some distant uncaring master. The oil-stained hands that grip the loom are yours, but the fatigue in the eyes staring back at you from the mirror are not. Whose are they then? You cannot remember. All you know is the ache in your muscles, the coarseness of the cloth against your skin, the bite of the whip when you falter, the taste of the cold potato and the hollow echo of your own footsteps and the vast emptiness that surrounds you. And in the dead of night, when the moon is a sliver of bone in the inky sky and the stars are pinpricks of pain, you dream of fields, of sunlight on your skin and wind in your hair, of laughter and the warmth of a hearth fire. But morning comes, and with it, the familiar ache and the endless clatter as the machines, like living things, are woken, and you are forced to climb aboard, another nameless victim in their insatiable, grinding embrace. The bell tower strikes one. It's time to go. You shove off from the factory wall, joining the river of humanity flowing towards home. The sun bleeds through the grime, painting the sky the color of old blood. The wealthy have long forgotten what it means to be poor, to claw and scrape for every penny, to watch every step for fear of being trampled. Beyond the factory, life is no kinder. You live in a slum, its alleys narrow and choked with the stench of open sewers. Your wages, meager and often docked for mistakes, barely cover rent and food. Disease is a constant shadow. Cholera and typhus sweep through the tenements, claiming lives with quiet cruelty. You've seen neighbors fall, their homes emptied, their names forgotten. The city itself is a machine, its factories and mills driving progress at the cost of those who feed them. You see the same faces every day, the weary, the world-beaten, the hollow-eyed, and you wonder, how much more can a person take? How much more can you give before you have nothing left to give? The question hangs in the air, unanswered, as you turn toward the slums, the place you call home. In these dark and narrow streets, the only light comes from the flickering gas lamps that illuminate the grime and the waste. The air is thick with the smell of stale urine and decaying waste, a constant reminder of the lack of basic sanitation. The buildings are tall and imposing, yet they are crumbling, their foundations weak and their inhabitants desperate. As you walk through the crowded streets, you see children playing in the shadows, their laughter echoing strangely in this desolate landscape. You see old men sitting on stoops, their eyes vacant, their bodies wasting away. You see young mothers carrying their babies on their hips, their faces etched with worry, their hands calloused and worn. You reach your tenement, its paint peeling and its windows shattered. Inside, the stairs are broken, and the walls are stained with age and neglect. As you climb the stairs, you feel the weight of despair pressing down on you. You reach your floor and make your way to your apartment, its door hanging precariously from its hinges. Inside, the room is dark and dank, the air heavy with the scent of mildew and decay. The walls are bare, the floors are dirty, the furniture is broken. In the corner, a single shaft of light pierces the gloom, illuminating a cough, a hacking cough that shakes your body and rattles your bones. You clutch your chest, trying to expel the pain that consumes you. The cough persists, a relentless tormentor that steals your breath and leaves you gasping for air. And then, as suddenly as it began, it stops. You stand there, trembling, your body racked with exhaustion, your mind filled with dread. The cough has taken your voice. You are alone in the darkness, your fate uncertain, your hope fading fast. The cogs of the city grind ever onward, turning day into night and night into day. You are a small cog in this great machine, working alongside thousands of others who have been assembled here in this great metropolis. You have a purpose, a function. You are a producer of widgets. And every day you produce widgets with the other cogs, turning and twisting until your hands are raw and your back is aching. There is no beauty here. There is no art. The only solace is the steady rhythm of the machine, the whirring of the gears, the hiss of the steam. But even that can turn oppressive, a constant reminder of the futility of it all. The great machine keeps grinding, even as the sun sets and the moon takes its place in the sky. And you keep working, long after the faces of your fellow workers have blurred together into a single gray mass. Yet there are moments of resilience. In the evening, you gather with others in a cramped tavern, the air warm with the scent of ale and sawdust. A fiddler plays a slow tune, and for a moment the weight lifts as you share stories or a rare laugh. You drink deeply, letting the bitter taste of freedom fill your mouth. For a brief time, you are not a cog in the machine, but a person with a name and a face. You are someone's brother, someone's son, someone's friend. Then the tune changes and you return to the grind. The next day, the fiddler's song echoes in your head as you work. You mend your clothes by candlelight, the needle pricking your tired fingers. It's a small act of defiance, a refusal to let the machine completely consume you. You think of the song and you smile, a small, sad smile. The wood is smooth under your touch. You carve a small toy for a child, a wooden bird with a broken wing. And for a moment, you are not a cog in the machine, but an artist, a creator. The city's clamor never fully fades, but in these small acts, you find a quiet defiance, a refusal to be wholly consumed by the machines. For even a cog can dream of a time when the grinding stops and the world outside the factory walls is all yours to explore. As night falls, you return to your tenement. The room is dark and cold. You lie on your straw mattress. In the distance, you hear the whistle of a factory. It's the end of the shift. Your body aches. Your lungs are heavy with dust, but at least you can sleep. And in your dreams, you can escape the endless grind. This is the life of a factory worker, a life of endurance, where every day is a battle against exhaustion and despair. The city is your world, with its smoke and its noise, a rhythm as relentless as the looms you tend. But the Victorian world was not only a world of toil, it was also a world of voices. Voices that sought to change the system, to make the powerful listen. And who better to do that than the great storyteller, Charles Dickens? Let's leave the factory now and turn to his story. He was born in 1812 in a small village in England. His father was a clerk in the local government office. His mother was a former servant. And young Charles was expected to follow in his father's footsteps. But he had other plans. He wanted to be a writer,